Welcome to 5 Minutes of Momentum. These episodes are a short 5-minute burst of inspiration, motivation, and massive action. If you need that little kick up the butt to get things moving and to inspire you to take massive action, then every single Thursday I'll be sending you through a 5-minute episode to download, digest, and implement to finish your week off strong. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Welcome back to 5 Minutes of Momentum. Today I want to talk to you about how to rewire your brain for success. So recently I booked a trip and went to LA and got to connect with some incredible people in business and attended an incredible event with Brendan Burchard and Chris and Laurie Harder. And I believe this is one of the key things that I do to rewire my brain for success, because when I'm surrounding myself with other incredible people, the conversations hit different. The way that people talk about success in the room, and it's not from a boastful place, it's not at all from a place of like, look how good I am and look at what I've done, look at how much money I make, or anything like that at all. It's actually that it's so normal. And this is the thing, we've got to normalize success. So whatever it is that you want, when you start to believe that it's not possible for you, when you look at others and you put people on pedestals, when you look at others and go, oh, it's okay for them, but it's not okay for me, you're basically creating separation from your success. So if you want to get closer to making success possible and rewire your brain for success, we need to surround yourself with people who talk about success like it is inevitable. Because you have to believe it. You have to believe that your success is inevitable. And it is. I 100% believe that. So one of the things that I do to rewire my brain is not only just to attend events like this and having conversations with incredible people that have done things that I want to do, I've created this next level of reference point, right? So the way that your brain works is that it develops reference points that it keeps as on track of like what is being possible for you. And it remembers everything. Your subconscious mind remembers absolutely everything. It's crazy. It's like little filing cabinets and there's nothing that you forget. And sometimes it's just not active in your mind at the time, but it's absolutely still there in your subconscious mind. And so by having these conversations with people, I'm creating these new reference points. So when I'm having conversations with other people and new people that I meet, I have this point of reference that my brain will refer to that when it comes to this next level of success. So I'm building out this picture in my mind of what success looks like at different levels. And so by having these conversations, it allows me to build out that picture more and more. It helps me normalize it, and it helps me realize that it's absolutely possible for me. Because that's the first hurdle. If you don't believe it's possible for yourself, it is very hard to create it. So the next step that I do that helps me further this process is mental rehearsal. So I think about and I picture in my mind, I visualize certain levels of success that I want to experience, what it would feel like, what it would look like, what I would be hearing, what I would be doing, the action steps, and all those types of things, how I would see myself, how I would be acting and behaving in those scenarios. I play them out in my mind. So I do this at least 3 times a week. And it's always in the morning, first thing in the morning, I do my visualizations and I do some meditations. And so there's 3 times throughout the week where I'll sit and I'll visualize 3 to 5 goals that I have got coming up that I want to achieve. And I'll play it out in my mind and mentally rehearse that success happening. And so that's another way that your brain develops reference points, because when you imagine it, your brain doesn't know the difference between real and imaginary. So the more that you imagine it, your brain feels like it's real. And so then you manifest it towards you, like you bring it towards you, but then you're also less fearful to take certain action steps because your brain's already played out the scenarios to be like, okay, this is the next step that I do. This is the action that I take, right? So we want to mentally rehearse as much as possible. So 3 to 4 times a week, I find that works really well for me and keeps me on track with my goals. It keeps me motivated and excited towards taking action towards those goals as well. And so I build out these reference points, and the more conversations I have with amazing people, I almost like fill in the gaps, because one of the biggest things that stops people from succeeding is the how. We get so stuck in the how, right? Because we can't picture it. We can't think about what it is that we'll be doing. We don't know what it's going to sound like. We don't know what it's going to feel like. And so we prevent ourselves from taking the action because we're unclear on what our next steps are. But the thing is, you don't always have to know the full how. You just have to know the next step. And so when I'm having conversations with these people, I will be literally asking really practical things like, okay, what's next? And what does that look like? And how did you go about doing that? And those types of questions, so then I can fill in those gaps and my brain knows what my next step is going to be. And then I break down my goals as small as I can possibly make them and take action on them regularly. Like almost daily, I'm taking action on my goals. And so I see this happen in business a lot, where people get so caught up in serving their clients, they get so caught up in doing all the busy stuff within their business that they don't prioritize the growth focused activities, and then they stagnate and they plateau in their business. And it's because they're not prioritizing their goals. So I always get them to come back to their goals and go, what's an action step that I can take to get back into momentum this week to make that happen? So you want to rewire your brain for success, surround yourself with incredible people, have those conversations, normalize your success, visualize it, mentally rehearse your success being inevitable. And the last little one I want to add is learn to celebrate your successes. You need to enjoy the journey, because if you're only waiting for the success to feel good, if you're only waiting for that to happen, you're only building in happiness at the end of the destination, like once you've reached the destination. Whereas I'm a big believer of building in habits of celebrating your success, because it's actually the stepping stone to your next level of success. Because the more that you can build out your belief systems in what you're capable of, what you've been able to overcome, what you're proud of yourself for, your brain strengthens those reference points, because then it goes, okay, so if I've been able to do that, I can do this. And so the more that you celebrate your success, and I don't mean like popping champagne bottles or anything like that, I mean taking the time to actually go, I'm really proud of myself for doing this because this was hard. I'm really proud of myself for having that conversation. I'm proud of myself for strengthening that ability to improve that Facebook ad. I'm really proud of myself for following up in this way. Whatever it is that you're proud of yourself for, celebrate those successes, because that will actually build confidence in your ability to do other big, scary things. I hope you've loved today's episode as much as I've loved recording it. Please feel free to share a review if you've taken anything away from this podcast episode. I would love to hear from you. So share a review in your podcast app, and make sure that you keep an eye out for the next lot of interviews I have coming. There's got some epic guests coming for you. All right, lovely. Enjoy the rest of your day.